Hello, welcome back. Let's put this in the ether. You know what? I truly believe that this episode might not offend somebody, but don't be offended. All right, this is just what my thought is. My thought are about the Tesla brand electric vehicle. Is that the people who usually buy these vehicles, right? Teslas, right? They're big NPCs basically. They're followers, and they don't know the real intention of the electrical car. They don't really know the disadvantage of electric car. And there's other people out there. There's gonna be people out there who's gonna go against my belief, and that's fine. If you're a Tesla owner, that's fine. That's your prerogative. That's your choice of owning Teslas, right? But it's not about owning a Tesla. It's not about owning a Tesla. It's not about affordability of a Tesla. If anything, Tesla are going down in prices, and so there's tax write-out, and there's governmental um, programs that allow you to buy these electrical cars, right? So affordability is not an issue. It's not about who could afford it, right? It's about these herd mindset, this mentality that you buy this car thinking that you're in this group of people that for some reason you're better than everybody else. That's how I see these Tesla owners, right? And they're not really seeing the big picture of driving the Tesla. What to me, what the driving the Tesla is, right? Driving a Tesla is basically you conforming to what you think the system is, what you think the future is, right? When you look at it by the data, is that the future is not gonna accommodate the electrical cars. We don't have the infrastructure for that, right? Maybe in a distant future, but when you talk about distant future, who to say electric car is still the fad? There might be some other new technology out there that's way better than the electrical cars. Who knows, right? So you're just falling on this trend. It's just you're hopping on this bandwagon. That's what Tesla is to me, right? A Tesla is a glorified bandwagon, right? And people think it's the future. I don't really think it's the future, right? Because the infrastructure is not there. Is the material's not there, right? Especially when you talk about precious metal, because when you look at electrical car, right, it's mainly produced from precious metal, silver and gold, right? What happened if the price of silver and gold strucks up, right? What happened if the price of silver and gold skyrocketed? That means it's going to be more cost to produce these Tesla machines. That means all these conductors, all these metallic devices can cost more. What happened if the an ounce of silver goes to $100,000? Right? I might be stretching it, but what if it gone to the point that silver become extremely rare commodity, right? What does that mean? That means that the price of electrical car gonna go up. That means producing one of these cars is not gonna be feasible, right? So it's gonna be a lot of resources going to this. Not only that, the the precious minerals is not a finite material. Cobalt, lithium, that got come somewhere, and it's not sure how many supply that we have left for that. But not only that, the disposable of these chemicals, right? When you look at that environment point of view, and that's kind of contradictory. Say for a person who say they're environmentalists and they want to drive a Tesla to save the environment, you're not really saving the environment, right? You're not really saving the environment because you're not factoring in what are the costs to produce one of these vehicles, right? Like I mentioned before, the cobalt, the lithium, and all this stuff. These are dirty minerals, right? You don't know how they excavate these kind of things, right? Right? You don't know how to excavate these things. Not only that, you're inadvertently contributing to the damages of the environment if you're an environmentalist, right? Claiming that you're saving the environment when in actuality you're causing more harm to the environment. Not only that, most of the power that's generate these Teslas out there are come from coal burning plants. How can you say you're for the environment if the resources, your electricity come from coal power plant? You can't say that. Right? So it leads me to believe that the reason why these people buy these Teslas, right? If Tesla are producing this false imagery of the is a very exclusive brand, when in actuality anybody could get a Tesla these days, right? I could get a Tesla these days if I ever wanted so, right? And not only that, other companies are coming out with these other cars as well, electrical cars, right? There's gonna have more competitors, right? So I don't really think Tesla is the is gonna be that dominating. Sure, the price of the Tesla is going up to the $1 trillion, right? From $1 billion to $1 trillion, but because at that time Tesla was the only manufacturer, the big dog manufacturer that produced electrical cars. So their word are built on hype, right? And most of these people, they have a lot of resentment for Elon, and then they're still buying this car. Like, if you don't like Elon Musk, why are you buying this car? It don't make any sense. You're contributing to somebody that you don't like, right? That's why it leads me to believe that people who usually drive these electric cars are basically NPCs. They're followers, the sheep, right? They don't know what they're getting themselves into, and plus add on the inconvenience of charging these cars. Look, most people live in apartment buildings. There's not an electrical outlet out there to charge these cars, right? That means we have to retrofit all the apartments, and most of these houses out there, apartments, right, don't have the infrastructure to charge these cars, right? And not only that, these cars, electrical cars, they're not made for all type of range, all type of terrains, right? Most of the people out there live in rural areas. And what kind of car do they buy in rural areas? Trucks, right? Trucks, four-wheelers, right? You think Tesla are capable of driving in a rugged terrain? They can't do that, right? So, and and not only that, they're gonna try to produce a Cybertruck. You think the Cybertruck gonna have enough power to haul all this stuff? Remember, when it comes to torque, it uses a lot of power from the battery, right? When you're hauling more stuff in your car, your truck, whatever, it need more energy to do that. Now, what if you're just hauling all that things, right? All that things, right? The range that they're giving you is just an estimate. It's not a real number. What if you're just hauling ass the whole time, heavy equipment all the time? That means that the range that they're telling you is actually diminished. What if you go uphill, downhill continuously all the time? What if your lifestyle requires you to do that? Electrical truck won't allow you to do that because they're not factoring in the torque conversions of it. All right. When you need more torque in your vehicle, it's gonna use power. It's gonna drain your car faster than what you think it is. It's misleading you, right? That's what these car companies. Of course, they're not gonna tell you the truth. They try to sell trucks, right? They try scam people into buying these kind of things, right? That's why I'm saying all these people who support these Tesla cars, they're NPCs. They don't know what they're getting themselves into, right? These cars are not made. They're made for these cars. These Tesla, they're ideal cars in places like Southern California, cities with no terrain at all, flat surfaces, right? Those are the ideal places for these cars. This is why Tesla are so prominent in places like LA, right, New York, right, or Miami, whatever it is, right? Because they have flat terrains. Right. Not only that, California is probably the best because you have to factor in weather too. Because electrical cars don't run well on extreme cold temperatures. Right. It's gonna take harder for it to crank. Right. In extreme cold temperatures. Right. And not only that, heat. Places like Death Valley, Arizona, right, Texas, they're known to have a lot of heat. Think of all the heat damages done to the power. Remember, more heat equals more degradation to the battery, right? And people are buying these cars thinking they're the top dog. Like, no, you're not the top dog. It's not. That's what I'm saying. When it comes to affordability, it's not an issue when it comes to affordability. It's about thinking for yourself. That's what it is. It's a mindset. People who don't support Tesla, they have a different mindset. They understand that the cons outweigh the pros and benefit of it, right? If that's the case, why didn't why did GM discontinue their electrical car in 1996, right? The EV1, right? 1996 to 1999, right? Why did they discontinue that? Because they understand the cons of electrical cars. It's not feasible, right? Because GE had the technology, right? They're the first company, not GE. There's many cars before that. There's electrical cars back 50 years ago or some odd years ago, right? They understand that it's not a feasible solutions, right? Because it costs a lot of resources for battery. Basically, you're buying a $40,000 battery. That's it. And then they don't understand the longevity of the battery, how long it lasts. They don't understand chemical engineering. They don't understand all these electrical engineering, all this stuff, right? They don't do that. These NPCs are the type of people who buy Louis Vuitton bag to show off to people. right? Those are the people that the people who buy these Tesla are the people who's up to the neck in debt, right? There are people out there who make six-figure income and they can't handle their money. You know that, right? You know that there are people who make six figures, right, income, who having trouble to manage and budget their um their um their finance. Now, what does it say about people who keep buying these cars? They're NPCs, right? They're just clueless people. They think this is a trend, right? They hop on the biggest trend. And what next thing you know, and there are people out there who are regretting buying their Teslas, right? There are people out there. You can't deny the fact. People who are unsatisfied. People who are unsatisfied to charging their cars all the time. People don't realize they have to go to the power station to charge their car for God knows what. Those time that you charge your car, those time could be used to focus on other things in your life. It could use to be focusing on your business or whatever it is you want to do, right? It just take a lot of time. And when you start to realize that there's a lot of time being wasted on charging your cars, right? If you're the type of person so minuscule with your time, right? And you use your time wisely, how is it a productive thing just to go take an hour of your time to charge your car? Sure, it might not seem a lot of time to most people, but some people out there think it's a lot of time being wasted, right? And like I said before, people who I think buy these cars are the people who's trying to keep up with the Joneses. They see people, their neighbor bought a Tesla, so they wanted one too. They don't realize the cons of owning these machines. Not only that, there is basically privacy issues. The car can't function without being in a Wi-Fi network. You gotta be connected to the internet all the time, right? And we're reverting back to the privacy issue. It's constantly on all the time. Right? It knows where you are, your destinations, right? It's videotaping you all the time, 24/7. I'm not saying there's a bad thing or good thing. I'm just saying there's a privacy issue, right? And all these stuff, right? People don't need to factor in the cons of owning this, right? So if you already own a Tesla, by all means, right? More power to you. If you have your reason why, go ahead. But I'm not going to see myself owning a Tesla in the future, right? Because what I'm seeing is a big bandwagon. It's an NPC. You look at these people, right? These people who drive these Tesla, most of these people are not red pill. They don't know how the society works. They don't know how the matrix works, right? They don't know how a psyop it is. This electric car is basically a psyop of furthermore the agenda, the 1984 agenda, right? They don't understand that. They think it's a good thing. In actuality, they can't think for themselves. Their mentality. Right? If you buy the same thing everybody keep buying, what does that say to you? You can't think for yourself. You cannot critically think. Right? You're an NPC. You are not red pill. That's what it is. These Tesla drivers, right? They're NPCs. Right? So this is why I have to make these videos. Like people are bragging about this. Like, dude, there's Tesla are so common in Southern California these days. It's like you're nothing. You ain't ish. You ain't ish out there. You just a guy who drives Tesla. That's it. It does not make you better than anybody else. Your car don't make you who you are. Your car don't make you better than anybody else. Right? It's the person. It's how you carry out yourself. Right? And not only that, you shouldn't be thinking like that anyway. You shouldn't be thinking, oh, I'm better than you, everybody, and all that stuff. Like, that's a terrible mindset to live up to. Like, you're better than anybody else. I'm not saying don't have self-esteem for yourself, but it gets to a point when you think that you're better than everybody else. That's when people have a problem, right? And most people out there, especially in Southern California, is these people in Southern California are basically people that there's so many NPCs in Southern California. All these people, they have this mindset of keeping up with the Jones, not knowing that these kind of lifestyle is not feasible in the future. They don't understand that, right? They don't understand what they're doing is not conducive to anything, right? Don't try to keep up with the Joneses. When you try to keep up with the Joneses, it's going to lead to your downfall. You're living an unrealistic expectation, a real unrealistic lifestyle, right? Just bragging people for somebody, brag to people that you don't know, that don't care for you, right? You're buying this car, right? This toy, this electrical toy, right? Not only that, electrical things damage. I rather go for mechanical things than electrical things. I like older cars. I like classic cars, right? But on that note, guys, let me know what you think. You think NPC drive Teslas? All right. And on that note, guys, I make videos every day. If you like my videos and want to support me, like, share, subscribe. Peace and blessings.